choosing to attend our talk, especially with all the fierce competition happening at the same time. We're truly flattered. So we're here today to share our journey implementing and launching Pure at our university. And I know many of you, maybe most of you, are years ahead in your Pure journey, but I've always found it valuable to see how others approach things. And last year actually was my first year at this conference. I learned so much by seeing all the different work undertaken at various institutions. So that's why we're here today, to share our experience. Okay, so I'm Mouna Korichi, Research Development Lead at the Office of the Vice President for Research at Hamad bin Khalifa University, also known as HBKU, and thanks to Max for the shout out this morning. And I have my colleague with me, Ayman Fatima. She is our Research Management System Officer, and we refer to her as our Pure Guru. So our university, HBKU, is located in Qatar, and if you still don't know where Qatar is, I included a little video to show you where we fall on the map, and I hope it's gonna work. Yes. And no, we do not ride camels to work, but we did host the best World Cup, and we have Qatar Airways, the best airlines in the world, in my totally unbiased opinion. So Qatar invests heavily in research, and as part of its national vision to move from a resource-based to a knowledge-based economy. And HBKU is actually one of its key research hubs. It's a young research-intensive university founded in 2010 with 6 colleges and 3 research institutes. And our research institutes mainly specialize in computing research, biomedical research, and energy and environment. Sorry, there's a typo in the third one. And while our colleges, they work on science and engineering, health and life sciences, law, public policy, Islamic studies, and humanities and social sciences. So together, they constitute our 9 main entities. So in the last 15 years, since the university was founded, we've published more than 12,000 publications on Scopus. We've had hundreds of thousands of citations. We've led more than 700 research projects, and we built a community of hundreds of researchers. So it was really time for us to bring all of this together in one system that would enable us to showcase our achievements and our research outputs, help us with our reporting efforts and, reporting activities and ranking efforts, and most importantly, foster more collaboration internally as well as externally. And that's how we landed on Pure. But we launched it as Elmi, which means my science or my knowledge in Arabic, Elmi, and it's a name that both reflects our identity as well as aligns well with the core function of the system. And I included a QR code here, and I invite you to scan it and explore our portal later. Ayman here, who will be taking you through the implementation process, has put in a lot of work to make it visually appealing, so please do check it out. Ayman, go ahead.
Thank you, Mouna. So I will be going over our implementation journey. So our work started in 2021 with a 6-week trial to explore Pure. And the implementation took a year after a long procurement process. Then we were able to launch the system finally last year in September 2024. So we will be going over each stage on this timeline together as we move through the next slides. So we built a multifaceted implementation team from across the university, including the Strategic Planning and Partnerships Office, the Institutional Effectiveness Office, the Provost Office, and the IT team. Along with these teams, we met bi-weekly with the Elsevier Implementation Manager, and alongside that, we planned training, rollout, and how we'd measure our success. Now, on the technical side, we integrated our HR data through XML, which is done on a monthly basis, and we have enabled various data sources like most of you, such as Scopus, Web of Science, DBLP, etc., for our publications. We have linked our grant management system for projects, and we use ProQuest for our student thesis. All of this with its metadata feeds into our reporting ecosystem. One thing we may be doing a bit differently is that our researchers don't enter their data directly into the system. Each college or institute has an editor who reviews and approves the publications before validation, whether it is through the import candidates from Web of Science, DBLP, ORCID, etc., or through manual input requests that the researchers submit themselves. And then everything comes to us, the pure administrators, for validation. This ensures data quality and consistency, though it is a lot of work on our end. So our editors have played an important role in our journey. We designed their main tasks to focus on validating records, acting as a liaison between our office and their entity, helping onboard their researchers, and mainly reporting for their specific entity. Their role has been critical to both launching and sustaining our system. For the training phase, we started with trainer sessions for our core team, and thanks to Hong for helping us throughout these training sessions. After training our core team, we trained the editors and finally the researchers, beginning with the pilot group. We also created easy-to-follow manuals and guides, all available on our HBKU website for the editors and the researchers. I would like to show a few screenshots to show the step-by-step guides and manuals and how detailed the manuals were. Now I'd like to pass it back to Mouna to tell us more about the next step of our journey.
So after training, then came the rollout, which was the most exciting part after having worked on the system for so long. And the way we approached it is that after completing a small pilot with a select number of researchers, we launched it by organizing entity-specific workshops. So we had an Elmi launch workshop for each of our 9 entities to introduce our researchers to the system, Elmi, which is pure, and also get them to set up and update their profile so we can consider them onboarded. But we first started from the top by meeting with the leadership to get their buy-in. We presented them with the value proposition, and we highlighted the missed opportunity if we were to get limited researcher engagement, especially in terms of reporting and visibility for their entity. And once they were on board, it was a lot easier to get the researchers onboarded. And then we also had 2 extra little touches that we think helped. To the workshops, the launch workshops, we brought in a photographer to take professional pictures for researchers who wanted a profile photo for their Elmi profiles. And we also set up workstations in the same week after the launch workshops in the university, in the hallways, with laptops to provide one-on-one help if anyone was not able to attend our workshops. And we also showed them the very positive feedback we received from their peers in the pilot group. And we also reassured them that this is not just another additional administrative burden. It was actually quite the opposite. We were trying to reduce the administrative tasks on them. So as a result, we had over 250 researchers onboarded by the end of the launch, which is about 85% of our faculty, and we considered that a major success. I don't know if you know how difficult it is to get researchers to do stuff. And in addition to that, our portal, without any advertisement, received 93,000 views from all over the world, mostly from organic search, which was great visibility for our size and our region. Now for reporting, we developed reporting templates based on our internal needs, and just to make everybody's life easier, which is kind of our motto, while slowly sacrificing our sanity. But that worked very well, and it helps us navigate the complexity of the reporting module, especially because we have to train the editors as well. And because the visualization in the data story on the system is somewhat limited, we've been working with our IT team to develop custom dashboards using Power BI and the Pure API. And I included some screenshots on the left side, or maybe right side for you, sorry, of the screen, just to see what they look like. But they're still a work in progress. Okay, so implementation never really ends. Right now we have over 95% of our researchers onboarded. I don't know if we will ever reach 100% because we continuously have new people joining, but we are following a 3-year roadmap so that we can continue enhancing the system at our university. And this focuses on maximizing adoption and engagement, expanding reporting and dashboards, leveraging visibility, and positioning Elmi or Pure as the core system for the research lifecycle at the university. And if I were to summarize what made our launch successful, it would be collaboration with the stakeholders and making sure they really felt a real stake in the system. The top-down approach really worked very effectively for us, so leadership buy-in was of very high importance, and continuous training and engagement with the researchers to make sure they always feel supported and involved throughout the process. And of course, a lot of coordination, persistence, and patience. So with that, I'll be handing over again to my colleague Ayman, who'll be going over some of the challenges that we have faced, and some we have been able to resolve, some we haven't been able to. So if you can relate to any of them, we'd love to have a discussion during the conference and hear your feedback. Over to you, Ayman, again.
Okay, so I would like to walk you through the key challenges that we have resolved and some of them that we're currently facing. So the first one being the Scopus date discrepancies. We have noticed that the publication dates listed on the publisher's websites often don't match the dates in Scopus. And this leads to inconsistency in the reporting and import of the data. Secondly, the reporting and data story limitations. So pure reporting currently has restricted aggregated functions, such as calculating averages, maximum and minimums, and the data story graphing capabilities are also quite limited, due to which we have been relying on the dashboards through Power BI, and we heavily rely on Power BI and Excel for this. Thirdly, the lack of a bulk reject option in persons with import candidates. So whenever we review the person with import candidates, there is no bulk reject feature, due to which each rejection must be done manually, which makes the process quite slow and time-consuming. Fourthly is the affiliation handling in Pure. So if Scopus doesn't have an affiliation for an author, Pure automatically uses the person's current system affiliation instead of marking it as unknown. And this can lead to inaccurate affiliation records. Fifthly, we have the citation and H-index discrepancies. So we have had this challenge for quite a while, however, we were able to resolve it with the help of the Pure product support team. So we were seeing mismatches between the back-end citation and H-index counts and also the front end on the portal. However, we were able to manage this problem. Finally, the Google Scholar citation limitation. So Pure doesn't allow importing Google Scholar citation counts, and as a result, the citation counts are inaccurate, especially for the researchers and the colleges that rely heavily on the Google Scholar citation counts. So overall, these challenges impact our data accuracy and the reporting efficiency. However, the Pure product team has been trying to help us solve these challenges. That brings us to the end of the presentation. Thank you for your time and attention, and feel free to ask any questions or let us know if you've been facing the same problems and issues. Thank you so much.